Your degree took 4 years. AI learned your entire job just in 4 seconds. Gen Z isn't unemployable. We are just the first generation walking into a workspace that's actively trying to replace us. Let's talk.
So Aishwarya, actually, without any post graduation, I've been to abroad almost like 15 years ago, and very recently, 5 years ago, I came back. But I'm not holding any kind of professional degree or just with the post graduation of MCOM and holding a little kind of technical experience and exposure. I got selected in supply chain and I was working there and it was quite good. But now the competitive world and the academic structure and everything is changed. And my concern is what kind of a corporate fitment is basically required for this generations? In which domain the corporate HRs are looking into and what kind of job roles that they need, especially in the era of this artificial intelligence and data analytics, or could it be digital marketing? What kind of candidates that corporates need, and to meet their corporate requirements, what kind of academic curriculum is basically needed? You being in the corporate as a HR quite a good enough time. I just would like to hear from you.
Okay, so let me introduce the topic of today's podcast. We are discussing about things, how Gen Z mindset is, and about the topic. So when it comes to Gen Z in this corporate industry, we do get lot of resumes for IT related domains when compared to marketing, HR, sales, any other multiple domains. So for those kind of students or for those kind of people who are opting for a BBA or pursuing their MBA currently or maybe planning to do their BTech after their MPC, or mindset of people who just pass out from their 10th SSC graduates. These kind of people should choose their career path in a way such that they tend to stick with their own strengths, which helps them move forward in a longer period of time, because these kind of jobs and these kind of fields will actually be a very long term goal kind of a thing and kind of a structure. So it is very important for people, for students especially, to understand what are their strengths. They have to do their own SWOT for that, which is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, so that they will be knowing in which area their expertise is, or which subject of that particular thing will interest them, will build some curiosity or something as such. Then they'll have an idea about what kind of path should I figure out and what kind of companies I have to aim for when I sit for an interview especially. So once you pass out from a 10th, you know nothing about the subjects that you're going to hold in your plus one, plus two.
Right.
So for those people, if I have to suggest them what kind of courses they should opt for, we have n number of courses out there in the market. When it comes to MPC, it's about maths, physics, and chemistry, and when it comes to MBC, it's Math Economics and Civics, and we do have a CSC, which is Civics, Economics, and Commerce. Yeah. So these kind of things we do have in the outside in the market, but
What like I mean, every subject is connected with the data analytics and the artificial intelligence these days.
Yes.
Is it going to play a very big role in the current job market? Or of course, every course need to be upgraded and updated, and we also need to go according to the demand and supply concept, which is always there and missing in the market. But howsoever, yes, I do agree about the SWOT thing, that one should perform, a student should perform based on his own choice.
that will be a very basic step to gauge their potential. Blame a person to take, or we can't pressurize a person or a student to take in a certain course or to enroll him in a certain course. They have to understand their SWOT, which is the first step, which is a very basic and first step that one should do to themselves if they are stepping outside of the campus, outside of 10th. And then they'll have an idea of whether to choose BIPC. When biology interests some people, they can choose and opt for BIPC.
But the opportunities also should be there outside in the job market, right?
Exactly.
This is what that works out.
Exactly.
I mean, we need to be ready. I mean, being in the professional professor roles, it is our utmost responsibility. We have to guide the students in such a way when they cross the campus gate, they have to hold certain weapons in their pockets in the name of the diploma certificates or whatsoever that should fetch them some good career or some good prospects outside, right? So for that, in what manner we have to add on the curriculum, or the universities should design in such a way that it is going to fetch. Yes, everybody is making a huge noise about artificial intelligence and data analytics, etc. But not all the domains of the industry may be using that to the core level. Like pharma industry may be applying it to an extent of 40% or 50% of AI or data. In some other industry like apparel section, or they may be using more of digital marketing. Or the IT sector may be 75% of AI or data. So likewise, we have different domains like beverage industry, we have FMCG industry. So the different sectors of domain industries where different percentage proportionately they are applying this data and analytics. Howsoever, like certain point of time it is completely IIT and completely engineering, and now the part of time being into the management at the back, and now this AI is making a huge noise. So of course we need to balance everything, but when it comes to the career perspective education from the corporate fitment, what is that we need to do? I mean, so that we will get good confidence. Okay, if I take artificial intelligence, I'm going to get a career in this ground, or if it is data, I'm going to get in this ground. What kind of challenges and the risks that we are going to foresee in the near future? Okay, I completed my 5 years of graduation or post graduation in analytics, but what are the risks and challenges that I hold? I need to be ready even with that, right?
Yeah. So let me tell you on what kind of subjects will be included, what kind of concepts to include in the education system, or when it comes to BBA, MBA, or graduate kind of concepts. The government should impose a certain niche skills so that they'll brush those skills while they're pursuing their graduation and be prepared to step into a corporate world. Not for that, the education department from the government point of view and perspective should think and align those with the corporate culture and corporate skills so that they get some. Let me take an example of personality development. We don't have anything as such personality development back then, but maybe from past 5 years or 6 years, we do see few kinds of things like business etiquettes, for how to write emails, how to communicate, and the group discussions, how to back the group discussions. So these things have come into picture because back then, while the corporates have actually choose to interview on based of that group discussion, they want to give a student or a person who they want to take into that organization should be vocal about things, should be more about the things that are happening in and around the world, because ultimately they work in such place. They work, example for Deloitte or Google or some other company, some big C. They do tend to take steps based on the market situation and analysis, which is why the group discussion has played such an important role in the process. So now people are focusing on AI things, and back then even Excel was one of such aspect where the students were gauged on in an interviews, because when it comes to companies like big firms like Deloitte, PwC, they do expect their minimum requirement of Excel when it comes to VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, pivot tables. Basic knowledge in Excel would do when they are sitting for an interview. Now these days, if you ask me about today, like in this generation, along with those skills, along with those soft skills,
do we also need?
So we do require a kind of technological skills wherein they tend to use softwares like HRS when it comes to HR domain, finance related softwares when it comes like Tableau, Power BI, these kind of skills they should be knowing while they're sitting for an interview, especially with big fours. Now after Power BI, after HRS, people will tend to also take a certification in PIP, which is project management fundamentals. And these kind of tools, once they have certified in those kind of niche technologies, things will become easy for them to outstand the other persons. So now, if you want me to give an example, if I have come out of a college and graduated, I have n number of competition out there who have passed their graduation with a flying colors with 90%, 95%, 98%. What makes me stand out is what I work on, what kind of skills I opt for, or what kind of skills do I choose.
Okay.
When it comes to certain topics, or any, it depends on one-to-one interest, based on their interest. If they want to pursue in finance, if they want to pursue a career in finance, they can opt for Power BI, Tableau, these kind of skills and technologies. They can get certified in those kind
So
of.
you mean saying like there is a scope for the future career thing only when a person is holding some kind of technical background and more functional, because there are so many other categories of the jobs that are applicable, wherein finance section or projects or administrative side. It is not just IT all the time, right?
No.
So there are also, if there are 100 students in the community, or could it be in the country specific, it is not all the 100% are towards the IT sector, right? So a proportionate of the students may be interested in doing administrative related, functional related, or any other like supply chain or logistics, or different wings as well as a job scope.
100%.
According to you, how much proportionate chances are there in the job market, the demand? The supply of the functional, keeping aside the technical, the supply might be very less. I think so. I don't know because I'm not in the corporate HR. So having observed, what is that you can advise to that kind of section people who are choosing other different domains to work in?
My only advice is, in whatever domain they choose their expertise in, whether it could be IT, finance, HR, marketing,
Logistics, yeah, there is so many.
yeah. So what kind of domain they are in, I only suggest them not to stop learning, not to stop where. Okay.
No, it is not stop learning.
Let me complete 1 second. Let me complete. Let me finish. I just started talking. Just give me a moment. So my only advice for them is to continue their learning. If they have completed one certification, I mentioned earlier, they can look for some advanced level certification in the same domain. So that the supply, the demand part is nowhere going, because I'd like to give you an example, just like the way that we discussed this morning. If I have cultivated hundreds and hundreds of apples in the entire nation, people will stop liking apples and they don't want any apples anymore. Now, if I have to give an example that apple is equals to an IT sector or IT domain, or
I like that, yes.
strawberries, we want other things. Because we have n number of fruits to choose from. And now that we have n number of fruits, just like that, we do have n number of technologies and tools other than IT. Why we are only focusing on
Why is the students with a lot of aspirations and goals step out? If you are really unemployed,
how can you say that? Because it is not, there is no question of getting people unemployed, because if the demand is more for it doesn't mean there are less demands for any other thing. It is just that the market should design and should decide in such a way that people have to come up. I mean, the parents, or whether it comes from the teacher or professors or their parents, shouldn't pressurize everybody to go into an IT, because if 100% of people will go and choose IT domains, who will be there to bring products into the business? Because if there are no sales and marketing persons, they can't market about the product that you're working for. When it comes to companies like Google, Microsoft, there should be the main business for that particular company is the product owners and the product managers who are managing the product, who are getting the business inside the office and the corporate world, are the ones who are just going out, networking with people, asking them to try their products. If that role itself is not there, how will an engineering role or a coding perspective will come into the picture? So even campus selection is also happening. Okay. So I just want to make you understand that it is how much important an IT individual is having is equals to the rest of non-IT people do. Now you have to understand the subject in a very depth way. For people who are seeing out there, it's not whims and fancies everywhere. When it comes to IT especially, it is not that easy to crack a job, because the coding that you're working and the BTech that you're doing these days, you have lots and lots of competition.
Yes.
It's not easy to climb up the ladder and be in a certain point of view that you are expecting your life will be when you pursue a BTech or MTech and become a graduate like that. So it's really important for them to understand what kind of path are they choosing, and they have to know their niche.
But no, we also should understand what kind of companies like India is holding in. Mostly people are towards this corporates are mostly into the IT sector itself rather than focusing on any other industry specific, and the colleges or education system is also designing the curriculum in such a way, saying it as a corporate fitment but again suitable only to the IT sector. This is the worry that it is causing, especially to the people in the teaching field like us. Because we are witnessing and noticing that it's all the time software, IT, mechanics, that and this, and robotics it was once upon a time boom. I mean, it is still going on, but I don't know practically how it is going to happen. That should not be the realistic thing we should focus on into, right? And when these campus selections are happening in the colleges, they are also TCS or Amazon, Accenture, if you say Dell, Wipro, all these are IT related, Microsoft, this is that almost all top-notch companies are connected with IT itself, majority. So hardly FMCG sector is making noise, and hardly pharma is making noise, and hardly some other domain like agriculture or infrastructure related companies like L&T or whatsoever. They are not at all making noise in the market, which is seeking the kind of job opportunities from the campuses. This is what causing a big worry in the minds of students as well as the teaching roles. So why this is happening everywhere, we need to choose equal opportunities, right? I mean, they also should be given importance and focus because the supply of AI and technical is going to be more in the current years or in the upcoming forthcoming years, but where the space to hire the people, whoever the supply is more, the demand is not going to match up. Again, it's a problem. So we need to balance it. This is what my intention is. And for this, are we noticing anything, or it is still speaking about IT only?
No, definitely not, because when it comes to pharma industry, AI is playing a lot of impact, especially if your reports, if your Excel reports needs to get typed. I mean, checked.
So again, AI is implementing everywhere, right?
AI is implementing in a very positive way, I want to say, because
in positive way, at the end of the day, we want the student to learn with AI again, right?
it is not about learning an AI, it is about how to use an AI. There is a difference. You are talking about how to learn an AI and saying how to use an AI. Now, how to use an AI, if a person outsmarts AI and if a person knows how to use an AI in a professional way, it helps them grow their career and scale up the ladder in a long run. If you are talking about learning the AI, it is tough for them to scale up the ladder. There are two things, two different things.
So it is mandatory in the curriculum that all the courses should cover AI.
Yeah, down the line, if you ask me, maybe 5 to 10 years down the line, or maybe 15 years, depends upon the market situation and everything.
Connect with AI in all the subjects.
Not niche kind of AI I'm talking about, just like the basics. Like we spoke about Excel basics, we spoke about Tally, Excel,
So
those kind of basics on how to use and get our work done much easier.
So you mean saying any domain of the industry sector, they are implementing AI to an extent. Maybe few domain industry use 10% and few 75%. But AI is automation in AI is going to be. This is what being the HRM.
It only makes our work easier and smarter. You are seeing AI as a huge challenge and roadblock when it comes to career point of view and perspective, which is not. If you are designing your career path and
So you people are not you people in the HR world are not considering like AI is going to take away the human manpower, replacing machines or techniques or whatsoever, replacing manpower in the
it is not so easy to replace a human manpower. Now it is out in the market, which is why I'd like to give an example. Microsoft have have actually tried it and implemented to replace the humans with AI, which costed them a bomb now. So, which is why they are regretting their decision and they are reworking on their decision.
Okay.
So it is not easy to implement it in
100% automation and 100% AI, you mean?
Yeah, maybe they are trying to implement that kind of infrastructure, but unfortunately, it didn't work out their way.
Microsoft, it's a big company.
Yeah, I know. So it's not easy for us to, which is why I'm telling you, jobs like these kind of things are required to. I require people to work,
and the other side of the coin is digital marketing.
Yeah.
So digital marketing, you notice increasingly I have seen that Azate, before we used to be in the trial room.
Yeah, they have also implemented AI.
Everything is AI.
Yeah.
So marketing is also taking that. I mean, once upon a time, the evolution from the beginning, if we see the marketing, now it is into the stage of digital marketing segment. So
I like this very famous statement. Change is constant.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, I know change is not permanent.
Yeah. So we have to keep. There will be things that keep changing. That is why we do have a subject called change environment. If you have an idea about it, being a profession of a lecturer, you have to teach your students about change management rules so that it will make their minds.
Okay, the future, according to you, as a HR, the future is the digital marketing and AI. With this to be connected with all the subjects, whatever that you learn, I mean, whichever the curriculum that you design or the subjects that you learn, BTech or InTech or management or IIT, this artificial intelligence, automation and digital marketing, these three must be. This is what you need.
At least you know
basically.
Not in a niche or some kind of very in-depth way. Just a basic level, how to use it. It's just like downloading the software and knowing how to work on it. That's it. It's that simple. Everyone should, if they learn, the life should get better and easier for them to work on it. Otherwise, they have to go through the hard phase, hardships, and struggle a bit.
But the reason why I was asking this is because these days I am connecting with the parents as well in my college. So they are coming with a lot of question marks in their mind, including the students like, if I do this, what is my future? If I don't do this, what is my future? And if I do this, what are the challenges that I face and where do I land up? So when I'm hearing this, of course there are very genuine kind of fears or questions that happen, but how far it is ready, we should be ready so that of course when we step out of the academics, everything is challenging to prove ourselves or to make our dreams reach to the highest. But yes, we need to do the SWOT, we need to brush up the skills, update, everything is there according to the technological needs. We will do, but however, the fear is always there in the mind. So being in the HR role, I just would like to hear from you practically. What is that you are witnessing and what kind of job profiles are very much insignificant these days. That is why I thought of doing this small discussion with you. Thank you.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you. But I'll come up again if I have any gaps in my mind that are the same.
One quick suggestion that I can give the young generation is whether government decides to implement these kind of things in your educational system or not. You don't have to, it's up to our own individuality and personality whether to enroll for a course or not. If you like it, you'll do it. Whether if the government gets into a picture or the education system or not, if you like it, you'll learn it. Either from YouTube, either from Udemy. You have a number of platforms and courses. So you can explore the opportunities out there and you can just, I would say, if someone is so passionate about their career, think outside of the classroom.
Yeah,
that is the only suggestion that I can give for the young generation because that is the only one thing that can fuel their enthusiasm. That's it.
But the biggest challenge is what, and I seriously don't understand the biggest challenges that are going to come up because once upon it was C, C++, Java, Oracle, lots of this software.
I'd like to clarify this one thing. The things that you're saying, C, C++, Java, these kind of things didn't disturb the other domains, especially sales. It has nothing to do with sales, marketing, HR, nothing to do with roles.
So AI is also not going to this.
AI is also not going to be in a certain way, but
Again, actually, but again, this subject is equal to
yeah,
we need to touch it at least as basics.
just a touch. So that all and explore themselves and choose what fits them the best.
Okay.
Ultimately, what rocks their boat is what they decide
Yes.
and they can hook up on. So
Thank you.
thank you.
That's the truth as I see it. Disagree? Good. Drop it in the comments. Let's actually argue about it. New episodes every week. Classroom to corporates. See you on the other side. Subscribe.